Welcome to section 5, shaded graphs. Now, I would like to start by saying that shaded graphs are awesome. Now, to fully appreciate what I mean, let's go through it. Shaded graphs is a new feature that has been introduced in Unity 2018, although it was in development for a long time. And it was a feature that many people were waiting for, especially those who are not fully comfortable in writing shader code. So basically, it's a way to create new shaders by using a visual language which is graph-based. And this allows you to create very powerful effects without writing any line of code. The library already consists of more than 250 different types of nodes. We will see what these nodes are during the section. But in case you need more, you can extend by writing your own nodes. And finally, if you are familiar with Unreal Engine, this shaded graph is very similar to what the material editor is. Now, during this video course, we are not going to cover all 250 nodes, but we are going to see many of them through a series of practical examples. So I will show you how we can create some very particular kind of materials and how this can be applied throughout the project. And remember that the only limit is just your imagination. So, what we will learn during this course, we will have an overview of what shaded graph is, we will learn how to set up a project and how to get started creating a new shaded graph. Then we will move into creating our first shaded graph, which is a glowing shader, and here we will learn different concepts. We will see different shader nodes, such as Fresnel and time. Then we will move into creating a dissolve effect, which is a more advanced kind of effect in which we will make our character disappear. And then we will see also how we can control some shader parameters throughout scripting. And finally, we will just go through a series of examples so you can have a better gist of what shaded graph can actually do, and hopefully tease your imagination to create your own effects. So with this said, let's get started on how to set up our shaded graph project. To deal with shaded graph during this section, let's create a new project. So let's head into Unity Hub. And once we press in the new tab up here, we have the possibility to name a new project. And we are going to create it, or better, we are going to name it Shaded Graphs. Alright, so we just select the Unity version 2018, in this case 0.2 since we are going to use the beta, the location of our project. And finally, this is the most important part, the template. So we're not going to select the 3D template nor the 2D one. I'm going to select the lightweight RP, which stands for Rendering Pipeline Preview. Now, this is an interesting template because it already has shaded graph enabled. So let's just use this one. So, and press Create Project. Now, Unity will start and create all the project's assets and files for us. It might take quite a while, so just hang on. Now that Unity has finished to load, this is what will appear. We have here a README, so we can have more information about what is a lightweight rendering pipeline. But for now, let's focus on the scene. We have different objects, but I think that it's most effective if we learn shaded graph on something that it's more personal. So in this case, why we don't import the character that we used back in section 1? In my case, I chose Lola. So let's import Lola back into this project. So I'm going to navigate through my project folders and went here into my Desertland project. And I'm going to drag Lola from here into the assets folder of our new project. So once I've done that, Unity will import our character Lola. And so if I open up here and bring Lola into the scene, I have Lola already textured, and also the animations are already correctly set up, the rig and so on, since we already dragged from our previous project with all the metadata that Unity comes into it. Now, another thing I would like to do is to create a new scene. So if we go here in the scenes folder, so go on File, New Scene, don't save this news. And here we are going to save this scene inside the scenes folder, and we are going to call it shader graphs examples, and we're going to click save. All right, now that we have this scene, all right, we also need to create another folder in which we are going to name it our shader graphs. So shader graphs. All right. So in this folder, we are going to insert all our shader graphs. And inside this folder, I want to create a subfolder, which we will learn later what this folder is for. But we need to name it materials. All right. Now that we have our project set up, we are ready to create shaders.